Yo, so Apple just had this scary, spooky event on October the 30th, man. And I was like, what are y'all releasing next? We got the iPhones already. I mean, we don't have iPads. The MacBooks just got upgraded last year, or pretty much earlier this year for the M2 chips. Apple Watch is already out. AirPods they barely get updates as well. What the heck could Apple really be giving us? Well, we got the M3 chips already. I don't know why. It's kind of crazy to me. You know, I still got this M1 MacBook Pro, M1 MacBook Pro. I got this MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro chip in it right behind me, and that computer is great. You know, I didn't even realize they dropped the M2 chip yet. I'm thinking today should have been the day, you know, that we would have got the M2 chip, but apparently the M2 chip been dropped with the Pro and the Max. I didn't know anything about it, didn't care, honestly, because the M1 Pro is like, it's great. It does what I need to do, you know? So when they dropped the M3, I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm gonna take a look at it. Let me see exactly what this product right here could do, and should I really upgrade to it? And honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I should upgrade. I got the M1 Pro. Why would I get an M3 Pro or Max? So let's go and deep dive into the Apple 30th event. Apple 30th, wow. Let's go and deep dive into the Apple event today. Let's go and take a look at this M3 Pro chip, Pro Max, and the regular chip, and let's see what products they did release and what's new with the Apple MacBooks.
Good evening and welcome to Apple Park.
So on October 30th, Apple, they went ahead and officially dropped the M3 chips. We got the M3, the M3 Pro, and the M3 Max. Now these chips, obviously, they're always going to be the best of the best, you know, coming from Apple. You know, not really a lot of competitors out there. I don't think there's even any competitor that I'm aware of that is where the M3 chip is going to be at, or even the M2 chip. So, you know, it's kind of like Apple is here, you know, off the camera, and they're here. You know, everybody else is like maybe like probably right here, just perhaps. So, you know, the M3 chip obviously is going to bring us a lot of, you know, fundamentals, but since the M2 chip just came out earlier this year, or some will even say last year, that you really can't expect a lot of updates, you know, in the new product. So that's what I'm saying. I'm really not expecting a lot. You guys shouldn't really expect a lot, because, I mean, it's not a lot. Honestly, it's really not. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the M1 Pro chip and the M3 Pro chip, just because I don't have the M2. And the M2, honestly, is like 10% slower probably than the M3 at the most, from what Apple's been saying. So they pretty much use this event to compare it to the M1 chips versus the M3 chips anyway, you know, just showing like where they started off at and now where they're at right now. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs about the M1 chip versus the M3 chip. Now with the M1 Pro chip, we're looking at getting up to 10 core CPU versus the M3 providing us with up to a 16 core CPU. So it's 6 core difference, you know, with the CPUs. You know, if you're somebody that's really heavy into like the computer gaming and you push that M1 Pro chip, you know, to the max, then maybe you want to actually, you know, do the leap. Me personally, I push my computer to a certain limit. You know, I have this Canon R5 here, so, you know, our files are like ultra big as is. So it's like, you know, hey, you know, I get some buffer, you know, when I'm editing, but once again, I'm not using the right software. I should be using Final Cut Pro to obviously edit on the MacBook, but I'm using Adobe Premiere. Don't add me, but hey, that's what I use. So of course I get a little bit, you know, lag and crashes and delays, but that's on me. That's maybe my product. You know, hey, I don't care. But even when I'm using that product right there, a lot of these files, you know, I'm shooting in 4K. Now I shoot in 4K. And the 4K ultra high definition, or 4K U and D, or whatever they want to call it. When I shoot in those, I have no problem. The only problem I do have is shooting at 8K. Once I shoot in 8K, yeah, I can't edit nothing. Like, there's so much lag and delay in Adobe. It's just ridiculous. Even when I have Final Cut Pro, because I tried it out for a couple days, but I said, nah, I couldn't do it. You know, I'm not ready to jump, you know, from Adobe to Final Cut. But even when I had Final Cut Pro, the files were still, you know, they was okay. You know, I could have did some stuff, you know, on both platforms to, you know, like, you know, fix it or whatever. But I was like, you know what, we're gonna stick with Adobe. Now the next thing up in here that we're gonna compare is gonna be the GPU. The M1 Pro chip, we got a 32 core. You can get up to 32 cores of GPU, and then the M3 is gonna come up to 40. So it's really, once again, not that big of a difference. But once again, if you're somebody that's heavy into the computer life, you really want your CPU and GPU updated, maybe you'll take that jump from the M1 family to the M3 family. Next thing right here is going to be the unified memory. The M1 chip comes up with to 64 gigabytes, where the M3 comes up to 128 gigabytes as well. Now, I mean, once again, the updates, they cool, but is it really worth, you know, spending another $2,000 to $1,600 on, you know, another computer that's pretty much going to offer you, you know, it's the same thing, you know, just maybe with a few performance upgrades. It's really like the iPhone 13 versus the iPhone 14. Only thing new with the 14 ideally was small kinks, a color, and a dynamic island. Honestly, that was it for real. So I'm looking at it at the same exact way. Next thing I do want to this right here tickled me. The next thing I do want to look at right here is the battery life. Now, the M1 Pro 14 edition comes with 17 hours of battery life, but now this year's new edition for the M3 Pro chip is going to come with an 18-hour battery life. So it's only 1 hour difference. So once again, you ask yourself, why is it really worth the hour? You know, it's really worth an hour jump. Now, if you're somebody that has the 16-inch, you know, let's say for instance, this, for my example, I have the M1 Pro chip. Now, if I wanted to jump from the M1 Pro chip 14-inch to the 16, I'll do it. The reason why is because the 16 has a 22 up, like basically get up to 22 hours of battery life in that one, and then you get the Pro or the Max chip, you know, built into that one. So maybe that's the only way I would really, you know, I can really see myself jumping ship. But other than that, I'm going to stick with the 14. I'm gonna stick with my M1 Pro. That's just that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you know, with the M3 family right there. I mean, Apple, they did what they could do, you know, just to make it, you know, make it a little bit better for us and make, you know, more sales, because apparently the sales from the M1 to the M2 really wasn't significant. And I can say the same. I don't think that the M1 to the M3 will really be, you know, significant either. I mean, the upgrades, you know, they're in between like the 50s and 60s. But like I said, when you look at the M2 versions, you're looking at about like 10, 15s, maybe even a 20 somewhere. It could have been 60 somewhere, but I highly doubt it. Now, when we talk about jumping to the M4 and M5 chip, maybe then, not even maybe then, I know for a fact I will upgrade my MacBook from that. But here's what Apple did to pretty much, you know, show us that we got the new MacBook, which is offering us a brand new color. So the MacBook Air originally came out, well, not originally, but recently came out with a space black edition. So now in the Pro model for the M3s only, you're not going to be able to purchase the space black version, which is honestly just matte black. That's it. But, and once they said that, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, ooh, you know, hey, space black. You know, I got this gray MacBook. I got a black case on it right now. You know, I would kill to have a black MacBook, you know, so I ain't got to put a case on it. But once again, I'm not about to spend $2,000 just for a freaking color. So yeah, other than the color upgrade from that MacBook, you get the same amount of ports. You get 3 Thunderbolt 4 ports. You also get an HDMI port, and then also the SDXC card slot. So, you know, if you got the little memory card for your camera, stick it in the camera. You don't have to get an external little thingy. Do that, call it a day, boom. Same exact thing, same exact design, just a brand new color, new performance upgrades. Price point is good. So other than them just doing like the colors, everything else is going to stay the exact same. Now, they did do another thing as well for us. So now if you're someone that wants to get the MacBook Pro, but you just don't have $2,000, but maybe you got around like $1,600, you can pick up the MacBook Pro in the M3 chip basic model itself. Once again, I don't recommend it unless you're strictly buying it just for the black coloring. If not, pick yourself up an M1 MacBook Pro, just because the M3 basic chip is, look at it as like a MacBook Air in a body of a MacBook Pro. That's all I can really say about that. And that's just that. Now, the MacBook Pro M3 chip is going to start off at $1,599. You can also get the MacBook Pro M3 Pro chip, that is so much, for $1999. And then the MacBook Pro M3 Max chip is going to start at $3199. And that's for the 14-inch editions. Now looking at the 16-inch edition models, the M3 Pro version of that one is going to start at $2499, and then the M3 Max is going to start at $3499. So hey, let me know what you guys think down below. Is it really worth jumping from the M1 Pro or M1 Max family to the M3 family, you know, I don't know. Me personally, I think I'm gonna stay where I'm at just for a couple, you know, more years because, like I said, I got the R5. The R5 doesn't have that much issues unless I'm shooting on 4K. But once again, I do YouTube videos. Why am I shooting, you know, YouTube videos in 4K? I mean 8K. Make it make sense, you know? It don't make sense. It's too much. So I think I'm gonna stick with my M1 family for a couple more years. Apple, thank you for the event. But like I said, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Make sure you guys go and like the video. Drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think. And also, I'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace.